in the area, so they decided to be cautious and wait to begin today's action, but everybody is out there ready to rock and roll. And Martin Perez has done a little bit of everything this year for the Braves, whatever has been needed out of the bullpen as a starter. And today he makes a start against the Washington Nationals, Jeffrey, with a series on the line.
Yeah, we've talked about it. He has been kind of that guy that's done it all, the swing man. Last time out, good start though, 10 Ks.
Yeah, that was a career high.
Yeah, he had it rolling. That changeup was as good as we've seen it. Hopefully we get another good start out of him today.
He's going to need that changeup against this Nationals lineup. Brought to you by Racetrack. Only 2 runs yesterday in the ballgame, both by the Nationals. Solo homers by Cruz and Bibas, who is not in the lineup today. Jeff, how about your Ford Keys?
Yeah, limit walks. Part of his success has been in the last 12 2/3, only 3 walks, and then get Matt Olson rolling here. Hitless in his last 15 ABs. He's had obviously a great year, but get him going into the road trip and we'll be good. And then the outfield, they got to be a little careful with that rain we just got. Ball could be skipping off and take it to the wall.
Yeah. Good insight. Racetrack defense having to deal with that wet turf out there. It looks like this. Dubon, Harrison, White.
Yeah, so Michael Harrison center, of course, Eli White and right. Got to be ready out there. Austin Riley at third. Kim plays short today after getting the day off yesterday. Albies, Matt Olson, and San Leon gets the call today behind the dish.
Rubber game of the series. Braves winning in 11 on Friday. Yesterday it was a shutout for the Nats. Braves just 1 hit yesterday in a 2-0 defeat. What will Sunday bring? It is time to find out. Hope everybody is enjoying the holiday weekend. The Braves today finishing up a stretch of 13 games in 13 days. So all told, a 22-minute weather delay here before we get this one started this afternoon. There's the 4-seam fastball to even things up to James Wood, or rather 2-1 to James Wood, who is 2 for 6 in the series with 3 walks. Bouncer foul. There's our guy. Had a pretty good game yesterday until an error late.
Yeah, you can see it carried over.
Well, sometimes they'll stick with you. That's the pitch, and Frenchie talked about it, but that changeup for Perez, so good last time out against Miami. And Frenchie, hitters are batting under 100 against him.
Yeah, and there's a lot of guys. You heard Glav all those years on here, because Glav would do it, lefty on lefty changeup. Some people don't like to throw that pitch, but for him it's such a weapon that I think he feels confident knowing that he's got to have that look. He's not going to overpower you, right? And so for him, he's got to be able to have that ability to mix speeds, move location, and that change is a real weapon.
4 of his 10 strikeouts against Miami came on that changeup. He throws it there, but it is a walk for James Wood. And James Wood more walks than anybody else in the National League. Now Curtis Mead, who had a solo homer in game 1 of the series, had the day off yesterday. Home plate umpire is Brock Ballou here this afternoon. Sharply to short. On to Ozzie. Over to Metals. 2 down. All started by Ha-Seong Kim. 6-4-3.
Perfect. I mean, got it in a little bit. Good job by Kim. Backhand quick to get rid of Ozzie, and it's a perfect lead for Ozzie. Didn't have to do much, and that's a good way you get a first. first batter walk to be able to come back and get that double play ball.
And for Martin Perez, even though he did strike out 10 in Miami, his issue was in the first inning when he gave up 3 runs. He settled in after that. Now he's got a chance to put a goose egg up there in the first inning today.
What's on the plate?
3-0. We were talking about the changeup, though. Our Defend the Mound feature presented by Comcast Business. And there you go. .096 for hitters against that changeup. And Chaparro got ahead 3-0, but going to that changeup, Perez gets it full 3-2. Chaparro just got recalled on Tuesday. He's been bounced to AAA a few times this year, and he is down on strikes. It is the changeup.
Yep.
And Perez, a leadoff walk, but then the double play and this strikeout to get out of it with no damage done. Atlanta Braves today. It'll be Dubon batting second, so you go Acuna, Dubon, and Olson the first 3 here against Foster, Griffith. 30-year-old rookie's got an interesting story. He did start against Atlanta in April up in D.C., and now he starts against them today here on May 24.
Yeah, he did. Went 6 innings, 3 earnings, 6 hits with 3 strikeouts, only 1 walk, and got the ability to throw 7 pitches. So you're going to see a lot. Cutter, sinker, fastball, changeup, but he's going to attack a lot of different ways.
Yeah, he does not overpower you, so he uses this wide arsenal and a little bit of deception to try to get hitters out.
Cutter's his main pitch. He'd throw that 30% of the time.
There's a sweeper, clips the corner. 1-2 to Ronald Acuna Jr. See if this Braves offense can get going early today. Remember on Friday, even though they won, they didn't score for the first 6 innings. And then yesterday, the Braves shut out 2-0.
Well, one thing they've struggled with so far in this series is just getting early base runners on, right? Even when they finally did, it was a lot with 2 outs. See if they can put a little pressure on him today to make some pitches with some pressure.
Just 1 hit yesterday for Atlanta. First time they'd been 1 hit since March of last year. And that 1 hit was by Michael Harris. Ronald yesterday, a rare 4 strikeout game, just the 3rd time in his career. He's trying to avoid a strikeout here, and he will. He'll take a walk instead. All right, Jeffrey, how about the racetrack defense for the Nats?
Yep, they're going to go with Wood today in left field. Of course, Jacob Young when he's available in center. Dylan Cruz in right. Meade, Abrams, Nunez at second. Chaparro at first, and Ruiz behind the dish.
It is a defense that has had its issues this year. 49 errors. That's 13 more than any other team in Major League Baseball.
Yeah, it's funny when you look at the Nats, man. They're leading right in runs scored, but then a couple other categories. They're down on that totem pole. Got a challenge here early.
This one looked up. It is up.
Call is correct. Washington has 1 challenge remaining.
ABS challenge powered by T-Mobile.
Nats have had a little bit of a rough series with the old challenge.
And that's, I mean, I get it, there's a runner on, but that's a tough spot to challenge and not be certain there. So they are down to 1. Kind of see Foster Griffin holding at the top there, trying to keep Acuna close.
Gave him a different look.
Dubon out to right center field. Long run, but Young with that speed cuts it off in the gap.
It's a pretty good play out there, man. Having to stop on that wet turf.
Jacob Young is a solid center fielder. The glove has always been the story for him, and he shows off the leather there for the first out. You mentioned Matt hitless in his last 15, 4 for his last 35 after that great start to the year. Still sitting on 14 homers and 42 driven in. Called strike, and Matt Olson, no argument, that did hit the corner.
Matt thought that was going to be that cutter that kept going, and that was a really good pitch painted on the corner. Sometimes you got to tip your cap.
So Foster Griffin, as I said, a 30-year-old rookie. He debuted during the COVID season for the Royals as a reliever, but only threw an inning and 2/3. Resurfaced 2 years later, only threw 6 innings between the Royals and the Blue Jays. Then goes to Japan for 3 years because nobody here in the States wanted him. Became a starter over there, and now comes back this year with the Nationals. So he still maintains his rookie status because he had only thrown less than 8 innings as a big league reliever prior to this year. And he deals a 1-1 to Ozzie, and Ozzie sends it out to left, and it falls in front of James Wood. Looked like he was going to get to it, and then he stops at the last second.
See Ozzie do that a lot of times. You know, he's going to go out and get that ball. Got that a little bit off the end of the bat. Those are the tough reads, right? You don't know where they're going, and as tough as a left fielder there, you dive, you better be sure you're making that player keeping it in front of you.
Yeah, you've been in that spot, right?
Yeah,
Frenchie,
but
right?
especially where Young is kind of, you know, to the right over there. If Wood misses that ball with Ozzie's speed, that's an inside the Parker.
Riley out in front of the sweeper.
Make Ozzie get dirty over there.
He went scrambling back, head first slide.
Backpack.
20th pitch here, the first inning for Foster Griffin. And Riley fouls back the sinker.
Riley's got that hair going, doesn't he?
It's good flow.
Let it flow.
Started growing it out after last season. Same with the beard after the frustration of the injuries the last 2 years to end his campaigns. Something different. Called strike. Austin is not going to challenge, and the Braves leave 2 on the bases here in the first. Telecast here between the Braves and the Nationals, game 3 of the series. Middle part of the order, starting with Abrams.
Looking, Miami beat the Mets 4-0. I think they swept them down there after the Braves left. Fish tank.
Tank can be dangerous. After the Braves took 3 of 4 down there. Yeah, the Mets, they just continue to struggle. The Phillies have kind of found their footing, but the Mets have not.
I think we said with the Phillies rotation, you knew at some point, man, they would get going a little bit.
Christopher Sanchez, it's 37 2/3 now of scoreless innings. The longest streak in baseball. Second longest is Raisel Iglesias. Two and two here to C.J. Abrams. Abrams leading baseball with 45 runs driven in. The last shortstop to lead the National League in RBI was Ernie Banks way back in 1959. This one's foul. Now obviously there's a long way to go before Abrams would potentially hold that award this year, but he would be in uncharted territory.
He's looked good this series, man. He's not had many swings that haven't been on time like that, hitting it somewhere hard.
Another foul ball.
I don't know what they're thinking, but that could be a trade deadline chip for somebody.
And he's still just 25. It feels like he's been around for a long time. He has 5 years in the bigs, but only 25 years old. They got to 2-0, then 4 straight foul balls, now 3-2. This one in play. Olsen hustling over.
Yeah, that was a great job by Matt right there, realizing too with Perez probably not going to get over there to beat Abrams. So you saw Olsen kind of kick it into gear right there and angle himself to get to the bag.
You think with Abrams, Frenchie, the issues he's had defensively at shortstop, do you think he's a more natural second baseman, maybe outfielder?
Yes, and it could come a time depending what team he goes to, but I would think Cruz slaps it through the right side. Sure, they're liking to see that. He got that hit the other Friday night, home run yesterday. But he gives possibilities, right? You always wonder sometimes too, does he even become more of an elite hitter if he's in the outfield and can be more athletic, not have to worry? I mean, the shortstop is such a tough position. A lot is required. It's like a catcher.
8 errors this year for him at shortstop, but again, he's been certainly providing a lot for them at the plate. And this guy's also been providing a lot at the plate. Dalen Lyle. He's got a triple in the series. Perez gets ahead 0-2. Out to left. Dupont patrolling out there today. Jacob Young gets the lullaby.
Oh, Matthew giving him a little something.
Talked about his defense. So 6 home runs. He has a little bit of a surprise. In fact, 3 in the last 10 days for him. He only had 5 in his career coming into this year. He's been working on having more pop at the plate. And so far, he's been able to provide a bigger spark for the Nationals. Speaking of that pop, he puts this in the air deep out to left center. Dupont is able to fire just in front of the quick read sign.
Did you see that route by him?
Yeah.
I'll show you next inning when we get back, but all's good. 0-0 as we head. This recovery right here is impressive to get back to the wall. And what's going through your mind right there?
Oh, no.
Oh, crap.
Well, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. Harris is going to start the bottom of the second with a fly to right.
It's funny, man, right when it was hit and I saw him, you know, because you'll see that happen on line drives sometimes, right? Like a guy come in and it just carries over. He came running. I'm like, no, you got to go back on that one. But good job, athletic enough to get back there.
Legs crossed over there like he's reading the Wall Street Journal.
I think he's reading the route maybe right now or figuring out.
Well, the wind has picked up. There's weather in the area. It's going to be a game of dodgeball here, but the wind is blowing in from left. I thought if there was not that wind, that ball might have got out of here.
Yeah, you're right. We had one yesterday pop up. And of course, that heavy one before the game today.
That's why we were delayed the 22 minutes. At one point, you took cover under the desk here. Curveball here to Eli White, 1-2. And that is another strikeout looking for Griffin. So 3 strikeouts. Olson, Riley, and now White all looking.
It's funny, that fastball is kind of tricking these guys. He's throwing enough of the sweepers, curveballs, and cutters up. And that's the thing. His fastball, it's not like it's 90-91. It's 94-95. Froze Matt Olson, now froze Eli White.
Well, there's the cutter. You mentioned that's what he leads with. He throws it 31% of the time. No other pitch has over 17% usage. So it's just a lot of mixing and matching to these hitters. But he's already gotten 9 called strikes so far in this game. Slow start for Kim, but he did have that key bunt RBI single in Friday night's victory. So the shortstop hits it to the shortstop. And a 1-2-3 second for Atlanta. Hyundai Sunday Fun Day here. Game 3 of the series, finishing off the homestand for Atlanta. Heads up to Boston. Off day tomorrow, and then 3 with the Red Sox starting Tuesday.
What you doing during the off day tomorrow?
Good question. It's supposed to rain a little bit. Gretchen and I were talking about organizing a little crew dinner tomorrow somewhere.
That's big league dinner.
Maybe a little Italian, North End. Ha-Seong Kim is there. Liner off the bat, and Nunez one away.
Little duck boat tour.
Maybe. I don't see that happening. I got to be honest with you. Probably a late wake-up call tomorrow.
Yeah, sleep in.
And then you've got the game on Tuesday on TBS alongside our Braves Vision broadcast.
Yep, I'll be up there. Question of when I get up there. More storms tomorrow.
It's been a last 3 days all along the East Coast. A lot of rain. There have been several games in the Northeast that have been postponed over the last couple of days. Sharp grounder. Riley. 2 down.
It's funny, right? This was a series we talked about both offenses Friday night, and here it is. Even till extra innings the other night, like you said, wasn't a lot of offense these 3 games.
Yeah, Friday night's game was 2-2 after 9 innings. It finished 5-4, but yeah, just 4 runs through 9 innings. Yesterday, Braves shut out 2-0, and now goose eggs here in the 3rd today. And for the Braves, this is series number 17 this season. The Braves have won 14 of them. They tied a 4-game set with Arizona. The only series loss came out against Seattle. And since 1999, folks, no other team, or I should say only one other team, has played this far into the season with one or fewer series losses. That was the Dodgers during 2020 in that shortened COVID season.
Which they ended up winning the World Series, so maybe that's a good sign.
Hopefully. Long run, Dubon, and it's foul. Speaking of that, let's take a look at today's Engineered to Win, presented by Range Rover Sport. Talking about the Braves and their success in series so far this year. So these are the teams to win 14 of their first 16 series going back to 1900, and it's only those 3.
Those 7 Cubs team was tough.
I heard you, Jeff. I was
checking your notes.
I'm in my head trying to figure out how the 2020 Dodgers were. Maybe they didn't even. Yeah,
Did they get 16 series?
They would have played that many series.
You know what? They played 60 games.
That list was only full season teams, so yeah, it doesn't count. So let's talk about that 07 Cubs team.
No, we're past it now.
It was hot that summer. You remember that?
I do.
The Titanic hadn't even taken a bath yet. Grounder, Olson will take it, and Martin Perez will take another 1-2-3 inning.
It's worse on TV. It looks like Twister.
Yeah, it looks ominous. Meteorologist Jeff Francoeur to my left. I'm Brandon Gaudin, Paul Bird downstairs. What do you have, meteorologist Jeff Francoeur? What do you think?
I think that one's going to scoop by. We got a chance to get some a little later.
Yeah.
Not as bad as before the game, but
heavy stuff won't come in for a while.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, so far no runs. Each team with 1 hit here. Sandy Leon batting 9th in the Braves order. And so far, Martin Perez has been in command. That leadoff walk and 1 single, but outside of that, off to another good start. So I was looking up the 1907 Cubs, Frenchie.
Yeah, what do we got?
Definitely my favorite player, Mordecai Three-Finger Brown.
Oh, wow.
Chick Frazier, Carl Lundgren, oval overall, Jack Taylor. Just some of the highlights. Called strike. So how about this for Foster Griffin? 4 strikeouts first time through the order, all looking.
Yeah.
He's got these hitters off balance.
Yeah, you know, maybe the second time through. I know they saw him, but his fastball is a lot better when we saw it up in Washington.
But to finish the story on Mordecai Three-Finger Brown, legendary Hall of Fame pitcher, and he had an injury when he was 11 years old. Farm machinery, got his hand caught in there, lost 2 fingers, and still went on to be a great pitcher. How about that? So the 1907 Cubs, folks.
There they are.
And there's Foster Griffin dealing to Ronald Acuna Jr. Ronald walked in the first.
So I'm saying there's that cutter, and it just seems like the Braves hitter are a little tentative right now, not seeing it well.
Starters the last couple of days, or Michaelis came out after he had an opener in front of him. Ronald Acuna Jr. lifts it high and deep out to right center. On the track, Young is able to get over there and reel it in. Here's a message from Zaxby's.
Zaxby's giant chicken finger quesadillas. Get them while you can. Who's got the sauce?
Zaxby's.
Yeah, he almost clipped him there. You could tell just kind of under it a tad. And the ball kept dying too as it was going to the right.
Hard off the bat of Dubon, but Abrams is there, and the Braves go in order again. Foster Griffin has retired 7 in a row. Baseball trying to make it 8-1 today against the Washington Nationals.
Yeah, see, they should let me make an announcement or something like this one's okay.
Because everybody started to scurry for the concourse,
it was scary.
And then they made a U-turn, most of them. Some of them headed there. Oh, wait, here we go again. Heavier rain. You got anything to say now, Jeffrey?
Well, we're still fine. We're playing.
We are, yeah.
Those are big fat
These are
drops.
big drops, folks. These could hurt you.
See?
And now
it's gone.
Stopping again. I feel like we're in South Florida.
People hang out. It's all right. In an hour, that's when we're going to have some decisions to make. Just got to lock into the radar, man.
It's so hard to trust because stuff just pops up out of nowhere.
So I got to keep refreshing.
Yeah, that's great advice. Kim, diving stop, but it's going to be a single for Meade. Great effort.
I'm going to say, he made that a lot closer than I thought it had any chance. Going to go a long way for that ball.
Curtis Meade is the one that hit into the 6-4-3 double play in the first to Kim. This time he gets it a little further from Kim and he reaches for a single. And now Chaparro, the third man in the order.
Got a double play candidate here.
Struck out in the first. With all this moisture around, though, the last few days, it has been incredibly humid here in the southeast. And that is the case again here today. Two from number 3-3 Martin Perez down in the dirt with a changeup. Martin did pitch in April in D.C. in that series where the Braves took 3 of 4, but he came out of the bullpen for 3 innings in a game that the Braves won 8-6. Part of his versatility. The Braves have had it on full display this year. And Walt was talking about Martin Perez the other day and said that he has been a great pro. He said he's got a punch card to my office because I've called him in so many times and tell him, hey, this time we're going to use you as a starter, this time a long reliever.
Well, it's a long time big leaguer too, right? So you want to show him respect. And
there's Dubon. One away.
It's one of those things, but it has been such kind of a what's our need right now. And a few times they need him to start, and a few times they need him to pick up some innings out of the pen. But as Walt told us, he's been a complete pro through the whole process.
Well, and you know, Frenchie, not every guy who has been in the bigs for 15 years and is 35 years old would handle this like Martin Perez has.
Again, though, if you're calling them in right and you're being upfront, you're being honest with them, most guys respect that, and they will. You know, like I said, I'm sure when he's told a couple times you're not starting, this is your old night, probably not happy, but strike out 10 like that, you'll have a spot in the rotation.
It is hard to think right now at this point in the season, with all the injuries the Braves have had pitching wise, that they have the #1 ERA in baseball. But that man deserves some credit. Certainly Walt Weiss, but then the pitchers deserve a lot of credit, including Martin Perez. Abrams hits it way up into the sky, and that'll reach the seats. The first ERA in baseball, first as far as opponents average, and also top 3 in OPS and WHIP. And that guy Sale's going to start against his old team Thursday up at Fenway Park. That should be fun. Strider and Elder before him Tuesday and Wednesday. This one's fair. Olsen goes to second. Boy, look at Meade trying to disrupt the throw, but Olsen still made it.
Yeah, you'll see guys go inside the bag a lot. That was pretty excessive.
He was on the grass.
Well, you see guys, that's about 4 steps in on the grass. Look at that angle.
I think that's the furthest I've ever seen somebody on that play.
Yeah. Banana route.
Yeah, that's the ultimate banana route. But it did not disrupt the Gold Glover at first base. Cruz has one of the Nationals' 2 hits, single in the second. Discussed the other day how him and his teammate Paul Skeens out of LSU went 1-2 in the 23 draft. First pair of college teammates to ever go 1-2 in any Major League Baseball draft.
And it wasn't much of a question. I think everybody kind of knew that.
After they won that national title for the Tigers that year in 23. Called strike. Will there be a challenge? No. It looked like it was inside, but Perez will take it for his second strikeout. You know what's good on Memorial Day weekend?
A little frozen pizza.
At Truist Park, 3-4-5 for the Braves here. Slow curve to Matt Olson from Foster Griffin. Well, the Braves haven't scored in 12 innings. That's the longest drought of the season. The offense has been so good, but just hitting a little bit of a speed bump here this weekend.
They are, but I think it also gives you a little feel of what Drake Baldwin means to this lineup and the at-bats that he has and where he slides in there. In that 2-hole.
And then Matt's been so good, and now he's just hit a little bit of a slump here. Yeah, Drake battling that oblique strain, went on the IL after Monday's game down in Miami. But again, the good news on that was it was grade 1, which is the best version, instead of being grade 2, which could have been a longer absence. Olsen ends the drought. It's going to rattle around in the corner. Stand up double to start the bottom of the 4th for Matt Olson.
Yeah, right inside the line. That was perfect. A breaker, and that one stayed up in the zone, right where Matt likes it. Again, being able to get somebody on base early like this. Maybe he heard you talking about the 12 innings.
Well, you'd love to get a run here and then shut down the Nats in the top half of the 5th, so you could at least have an official game in case that rain comes.
Oh, it's coming.
Thanks. Always positive.
Yeah.
Braves now with 2 hits. Ozzie had the other one, a single in the 1st. Buries it into the ground. Olsen will get to 3rd. And Ozzie has an infield single. He is 2 for 2.
You knew that was going to be trouble right off the bat. But watch Griffin right here. He kind of double clutched. Did you notice that when he got it right here and took that? Watch right here. So that's tough right here. And he kind of couldn't get to control the ball right away. And that's one with Ozzie's speed. You have got to get in and get rid of it. Oh, yeah.
A conference on the mound as the crowd gets into it. So Matt Olson hit a scorcher off the bat, 103 miles per hour. Ozzie a tapper at 67 miles per hour. Both worked. Now they're at the corners. Nobody out for Riley.
Good job taking that pitch. Oh, that's a cutter right there. That screams roll over all over it. If you're Austin, you're looking for something out over the zone that you can put up the middle the other way.
0-2 infield back, hoping for that double play ball. Foster Griffin trying to get back on track. His last 2 starts, worst of the season. He was good through 3 today, but running into trouble here in the 4th. Riley rips it, but foul.
It's one of those. Went 2 cutters and then that slow curve, and tough to keep that one fair.
Blake Butera, the skipper, looking on. His team trying to get back to 500 today. One-two from the 6'3" lefty, and he gets Riley on the changeup.
I've seen too many of those. I've seen more of the cutter, curveball, well-located changeup.
He has thrown 105 of those changeups this year, all of them to right-handed hitters. So 5 strikeouts now for Foster Griffin, and here's Harris. Zaxby's Who's Got the Sauce? Well, it's Michael Harris when he plays the Nationals. He had 7 RBI in the series there in April, but 60 games his entire career, 11 homers, 39 driven in.
Just under 900 OPS. Go ahead and add to those numbers right here, Michael.
Oh, sweeper comes in and gets it. Thankfully, it's only at 78 miles per hour. Bases loaded. Sweeper that didn't sweep.
No.
I think it did get a good portion of that elbow guard.
Yep.
Can't keep this offense down for long, and you feel like it's about to be a big explosion here in the 4th. Eli White downstairs, 1-0. First baseman Andres Chaparro is in on the grass, anticipating a possible bunt from Eli White.
I think with Eli now, you chance to be really particular about what pitch you get right here. He's still probably going to try to bear that cutter in or something in to get you to roll over. So look out over the plate.
Yeah, there it is.
Yep.
Six for 15 with runners in scoring position this year for Eli White. Ground ball to short, and they get 2. And the Braves are left off the board. Having such a great membership rep to help her whenever she needs it. And congratulations to Martha, today's A-list member of the game. Eli White, it is hard to get him to ground to do a double play. It's only the 6th time in his 7-year career, but he hit that so sharp to Abrams that they were able to turn 2.
And who was it at second? Ozzie. Even Ozzie tried to distract him with the big jump, but
in hindsight would have been good if it had clipped Ozzie's cleat or something, as long as he wouldn't have been hurt.
Right.
Then he would have been out and they wouldn't have been able to turn 2.
Yeah, you just got bases loaded, still in 2 outs. It's a lot of quick thinking right there.
Yeah.
Because if you're Ozzie and you look and all of a sudden the shortstop's in the hole, you're like, crap, that was a bad idea.
Backfired.
Milk was a bad choice.
Ron Burgundy. Oh. Just off that outside corner, 2-2. Perez got the strikeout looking to end the 4th. He's got 2 Ks so far today.
All right, take a look here what we were talking about, Brandon, with Ozzie at second. It almost nipped his foot.
I think it maybe even bounced a little higher than he thought it was going to. Smoked. How high is it going to go? Off the brick. Crazy bounce. Lyle has crazy speed, but Harris gets there to hold him to a double.
Well, that was a nice piece of hitting. 106 off the bat. That ball was in. He got fully extended. Changeup just tailing in. Pulled those hands in nicely. And you sit out there with that brick, man. You never know. Especially when it's at an angle like that.
Good job by Michael to get to it quickly. Lyle had a triple yesterday. He's got a double here to start the 5th. And that one might bring him in. Now he had to go back to second, so they're going to hold him up. And the runners will be at the corners. Well, this is just what the Braves had in the bottom of the fourth. Runners at the corners, nobody out. They couldn't score. So let's see if Perez can find a way to shut down the Nats. Eighth spot in the order, Nasim Nunez. Nibbling on that outside corner.
Trying to get him to roll over, something out front, pop up in the infield. It'd be a good time though to try to bust him in.
If you can strike him out, you got a good double play candidate in Ruiz up next. But instead, line drive to right field, and the Nationals grab the 1-0 lead. 3 straight hits to start the fifth.
Pretty good job of knowing the situation, Brandon, knowing you don't need to do too much, and he just floats one out there to right field.
This will get the Braves bullpen going. Didier Fuentes is throwing as Jeremy Hefner comes to the mound.
See Ron Kolpa going over to talk to the grounds crew.
That's never a good sign.
Nah.
That means they're telling Ron there is weather in the area and showing him the radar. Jeff just showed me the radar, and now I'm sad. Ruiz is the hitter. Grounder to Riley. There's one. There's two.
Well, you just said it a minute ago. Perfect double play candidate. And I thought that was a good job by Jeremy Hefner to go out there and visit him, give him a moment. First pitch off speed, gets him to roll over, and smart by Austin here, knowing who the runner is. Now you get a chance to get out of this with only 1 run, damage control, and keep you in this ball game.
Second double play turn by the Braves infield. Top of the order, James Wood, right at the knees. Another well-located pitch to get ahead 0-2 for Perez. See if Perez can take care of Wood, and then bottom of this inning, Kim can single, Leon can homer, the rain can come, and the Braves can win 2-1.
I like it. I tell Ron Cole, we're going to put the tarp on right after we get the lead.
He's looking around at the sky. Two outs, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Perez will have to hustle, and they are able to get James Wood, and in the top of the fifth, 1-0.
Thanks so much, guys. Here with Greg McMichael, Fantasy Camp, your baby, you run it. It's unbelievable. You just got an award for it. Why should Braves fans come to Fantasy Camp?
Oh my gosh, it's just the most immersive experience you can have as a Braves fan. I mean, if you love baseball and you love the Atlanta Braves, this is the place you got to be.
You don't have to be a great baseball player to go?
No, you don't. I mean, we have people that have never played, and we have some people that play every weekend. So the experience level, somehow that works out for us, where people are pitching and hitting against each other, but you do not have to have former experience to come play.
I know the answers to these questions because I coach in it. Welcome to the culture of Braves Fantasy Camp.
Good job, Birdie.
Yeah, Birdie's got him fired up out there.
I haven't been. I couldn't go last year because of college hoops, but everyone that has gone say that it is an awesome experience.
I know. I'm hoping to get down there one of these years.
Braves.com/fantasy camp. The rain has started, and it's probably going to intensify here shortly. I feel like our window of opportunity is dwindling. The good news is when this section of storms passes, it looks like there should be another clearing. Famous last words.
What, 8:30?
The grounds crew is in place and ready to go get the tarp at a moment's notice.
Yeah, Greg McMichael, though, I give him this. They do a great job down there at Fantasy Camp. This could be trouble right here.
Bermuda Triangle.
Yeah. I don't know if you noticed a minute ago while Paul was talking to Greg McMichael, that foul ball by Kim. It looked like it was coming back and playing. All of a sudden, whew, behind the dugout.
Yeah, the wind swirling, the rain falling. And with it being alumni weekend, thanks to Greg McMichael for all he does, just tremendous work for the Atlanta Braves. Oh, and 2 here to Sandy Leon, who struck out looking in the third. We had about a 40-minute rain delay yesterday, and then play continued. And the Nats won 2-0, and we might be set up for the same here. Slow tapper to Meade. And they got Leon by a half a step. No challenge. Ronald hit it to the warning track in the third. He walked back in the first. And Brock Ballou, seeing that Ronald's gear was coming undone, he fixes that. Paul Bird's got his umbrella and a towel.
What's up, guys?
Hey,
how you doing?
You gotta stay dry down there, Birdie. That microphone's expensive.
It is, guys. You see my little Fantasy Camp label right there?
I love that.
Yeah. This is my locker room, changing room right over here, desk here. There's worse jobs. One of the best.
Are you the manager
offices.
or pitching coach, Birdie?
Yeah, I'm a utility guy, available for what anybody needs.
Nice.
Yeah.
Look at that.
You know, Frenchie, when you're a hitter, sometimes you ask the pitcher what's wrong and vice versa.
Yeah, good point.
Did you bring that from home, Birdie, to slap it there for today?
I did.
Yeah,
I was pretty fired up for my Fantasy Camp hit. Yeah, I've coached there 2 years. I got to be honest, I really wasn't sure why I was going, and I went down there and had an absolute blast. And it's everything everyone promised to be.
Yeah, I mentioned it. Greeny says it's such an awesome time. Someone just made a great catch here on that foul ball.
Fired up. Look at that.
Look at this. Oh, yeah.
Look at the drink.
Kept the beer.
Oh,
he dropped it.
Well, a lot of it spilled. Need to get that guy a fresh one.
Instead of the mic drop, it's the beer drop. Cunha down on strikes. We're through 5. The rain is
when you talk about
falling.
making a play right here. If you watch, keeping your eye on the ball, beer goes, you don't care. Then you just drop the mic.
I think the Nationals would have been perfectly content.
Yeah, go pull that tarp and keep it coming.
With it being an official game at this point. Curtis Mead, first pitch is a changeup here in the 6th. And through the raindrops and into the glove of Mauricio Dubon.
It'll be interesting when you get to Boston on Tuesday to see what the lineup looks like. If Walt tries to switch a few things, just try to jumpstart it a little bit. Look, this team has played so incredible, hitting on all cylinders, and we talked about it. You're going to go through a couple lulls every year. And even like yesterday, that's a great thing. Today, same thing. You're not hitting, but your pitching is keeping you in games, right? When you're not hitting, giving you that opportunity to win some low-scoring games.
I think about Acuna right now and his struggles. You know how good he is when he is going. He's as good as there is in the game. So do you say we're going to keep riding with him in the 1 spot until he gets on track? Or is there an argument to be made, Frenchie, to move him down a little bit to try to jumpstart his offense?
Yeah, those are conversations I'm sure they're going to have with him, figure out what makes everybody comfortable. We were talking before the game, though, and I said sometimes you don't necessarily want to put your 2-3 struggling guys back to back to back because you just create a hole for 3 innings. So remember those few years when Michael Harris was really rolling and he was hitting 7th, 8th, and 9th in the lineup. And I know there was times I remember talking to Snit and even Alex Antopoulos saying, you know, wow, what about like the 5-hole, moving him there? And it's kind of like, look, we got to have somebody at the bottom of the order that can drive in runs too and flip that lineup over. So sometimes it's not always the hottest guys get moved up. So you got to have some length too.
And you and I were having the discussion. You don't want to over tweak it, right? Some managers, anytime someone gets on a cold spell, they switch the lineup. And
you don't want to do that because, I mean, guys are going to go through 5, 6, 7, a week worth where you struggle. The last thing you want is guys going up there, oh crap, if I don't get a hit here, I'm going to be batting 7th next week.
Well, and how did you feel? I mean, as a player, you probably prefer not to come to the yard every day and say, okay, where am I going to be? 2nd, 3rd, 5th? I would assume there's something to the stability.
I think my thing sometimes when I look, and I guess if you were going to make any move, maybe you put Mauricio Dubon at leadoff. Nobody else really fits that mold for me right now.
Drake was having some great at-bats in that spot, but now on the IL.
Yeah.
Abrams reaches for this curveball. Sandy Leon takes care of it.
Let me tell you, that was a great job by Perez. I don't know if you could hear it, right? You're always told to tell your catcher right where it is when something like that, because they got the mask on trying to figure, and Perez was screaming at him right up above you, Hear that?
Yep.
I mean, that's great communication. You let your catcher settle under it.
And that is going to be the final pitch that Martin Perez throws today. Another really solid outing for the veteran lefty. 5 2/3, and he leaves it a 1-0 ball game.
Get a rain delay, we know where we're going.
Heck yeah.
Birdie's going to buy us that.
The $300 a pour.
Yep. He's getting ready to go to Italy and enjoy himself. We deserve a pour on Birdie.
Didier Fuentes out of the pen here with 2 down in the 6th to face Dylan Cruz. Just really continue to be impressed with Martin Perez, Frenchie.
Yeah, the bases loaded, right? Got that double play ball, was able to get out of it.
And just that 1 run in the 5th. Obviously, he's responsible for Chaparro at first base. And now we'll see what Fuentes can do out of the pen. Got him. 97 up on the top shelf where that $300 pour is. Cruz went after it. Fuentes can't even go to the top shelf. He's 20 years old. He still has to wait a little bit. Still raining, but still no tarp.
Told you, I was looking at the radar. I think Ron Kolpa thinks that we're going to split the uprights with storms on both. I like his thinking.
Yeah, there's 2 red cells and then a little pathway in between. But the rain's picking up here a bit.
But funny enough, these umps probably are on a flight tonight at like 9. They're probably hoping they can get out of here.
And both of these teams have to get out of here as well. The Nats going to Cleveland to take on the Guardians for 3 and the Braves to Boston. Now the Braves do have the off day tomorrow.
Nats got an off day or not?
No, they got to play tomorrow.
They're locking horns.
Yeah, locking horns with the Guards. They're in a stretch of 16 games in 16 days with the Nationals. Young back a few steps. Well, Foster Griffin, I mentioned it, but he was off to a good start this year. Last 2 starts, though, against the Reds and Mets, he gave up 14 earned runs and 4 homers, but he's held the Braves in check today.
Yeah, 6 strikeouts, 78 pitches still, so not taxing himself.
And his dad, Fred, longtime pro golf instructor down in the Orlando area. And you think, oh, well, who's he coach? He's coached Jack Nicklaus, Greg Norman, the late Payne Stewart. So he's got a pretty good resume, his father, in the golfing world.
You're talking about trying to get down there for a couple days with him.
And Foster himself a very good golfer, but decided to go the baseball route after a growth spurt in high school.
Worked out all right for him.
It has. But what a journey to be a 30-year-old rookie at the big league level.
He's going to challenge that one.
Pitch was
He's
called
gonna
a
win
ball.
this
The
one.
catcher's challenging.
Yeah, it looked like it caught the corner.
Calls overturned. Washington has 1 challenge remaining.
Braves still have both. Nats 1 left. Matt, the double in the 4th, right down the line. And swings and misses at the sweeper.
Perez just hanging out at the end of the dugout by himself, huh?
Just letting the rain fall on the lettuce. Five and 2/3, just 1 run by Perez given up today, but the Braves trailing here in the 6th. Full count. Foster Griffin trying to get through 6 unscathed. He's at 84 pitches. His first name is also Fred, like his father, but he goes by his middle name, Foster. Bouncer right back to him, but it gets by to Abrams. High throw, but Chaparro takes care of it. A message from Delta.
From Braves country to the world. Delta, official airline of the Atlanta Braves.
A steady shower like this, Frenchie, I assume more annoying for the pitcher. What's it like as a hitter?
Yeah, everything just gets, you know, wet. You got to get more pine tar. It kind of comes off your, see him shake his head right there coming over your helmet. It's kind of the annoying rain, right?
You got to keep your bat dry.
Yep.
Griffin has retired 6 straight since getting in that jam in the 4th inning. Ozzie right by Tommy Watkins down there, had to jump out of the way. Tommy had the moment of the game yesterday when he took a ball out of Ron Kulpa's sack.
Yes, he did.
A little kangaroo pouch that the ump keeps there, and that was a good moment.
And put the ball back.
Put it back
in the sack.
Ron was like, "What are you doing?" Cruz over, and 7 in a row retired by Griffin. Still 1-0. Game hospitality in the community clubhouse, and this month's guests are families from TAPS. That's Tragedy Assistance Program for survivors who lost a loved one in military service. And Chris Sale's just such a good guy, and doing that here on Memorial Day weekend.
He's always good with that. We say pro, great with the media, great with all that stuff, man.
Great teammate, great everything. Well, now they're going to tarp it. They were trying to avoid it. But here we go in the 7th in a 1-0 ball game. The tarp is coming onto the field. That's a shame we started 25 minutes late today. Had that weather earlier that pushed the game back to about 35.
It's coming in hot now.
Now it's coming in hot, so they are racing. Oh boy.
Oh yeah. Maybe Ron Kulpa was waiting as long as he could so they could make the field unplayable, because that, holy.
All right, we're going to step aside, get our equipment saved up here in the booth, and we'll be back to this tropical storm in a moment. But the grounds crew, led by Scott Beam, an incredible job to get this field playable again. And now Reynaldo Lopez will inherit an 0-2 count with nobody on and nobody out of the 7th inning.
If you wait this long, right, you got to come back and you got to win the ball game.
Feel like it's some truest magic in store.
Yeah, 89-minute rain delay, about 12 minutes worth of rain and 60 minutes worth of diamond dry.
That's so much diamond dry. And Birdie was the diamond in the rough down there.
It was. If it wasn't for Birdie, this game probably would be canceled.
The only run in this game came in the 5th inning off the starter Martin Perez, who went 5 2/3, and Fuentes finished the 6th, started the 7th before they had to tarp it. So again, it's an 0-2 pitch coming here to Dalen Lyle. And a swing and a miss. A 1-pitch strikeout for Reynaldo Lopez.
Now, if I'm right, if there's 2 strikes, I think that's credited to Fuentes, isn't it?
I believe it is.
Yeah, 1 strike, it always goes to pitcher. I think 2 strikes, the former pitcher got it.
How about that, though? You just come in, and for Dalen Lyle, he just grabs it back cold, goes up.
Like, yeah. You're just
no shot.
Fighting for your life, man.
So now Jacob Young, who is 1 for 2.
Oh, official score said Lopez got the strikeout, so maybe that's just an at bat.
Because I'll have to go back here to the rule book.
Like, I know in a bat, if you come in with 2 strikes, right, and see someone gets hurt, fouls one off. If you get a hit, you get it.
Right.
If you get out,
it's on them.
It's on them.
Now 3 pitches, 3 strikes so far for Lopez. That went just off the corner. Nats have 1 challenge remaining. The Braves have both. What do you think went on in the clubhouse for the last 90 minutes, Fritchie?
Card games.
Yeah.
Yeah. Finish them on the plane, I'm sure.
It'll end up being a late night for both teams, but again, the Braves get to enjoy the off day tomorrow. The Nationals have to jump into another series in Cleveland. I think he went. He did. So Lopez coming out sharp.
Well, that's the other thing for the Braves right now. Good slider there by Lopez, but you can hold him here and get that lead. You got the back in your bullpen rested. Nobody pitched yesterday.
Martin Perez, if you weren't with us earlier, he was great. 5 2/3, giving up just that 1 run in the 5th. But on the other side for the Nationals, Foster Griffin had thrown 6 scoreless before the rains came. We are going to bring you a live rendition of God Bless America by Timothy Miller after one more out. Timothy had to wade through the rain delay as well. Yes, a relief pitcher can enter the game with any 2-strike count. Even if they throw 1 pitch, they are fully credited with a strikeout. So that does go to Lopez. Now a grounder. Ozzie diving stop. What a play! Through the wet grass, little slip and slide.
I was going to say, the good news for him is that grass carried him a good ways, and see Nunez joking with him.
USAA military recognition here on Memorial Day weekend, honoring our nation's fallen heroes. Braves down 1-0, bottom of the 7th. Riley leading things off. So Foster Griffin was great for the Nationals. 6 scoreless, his best start of the year. He's now out, and the lefty Andrew Alvarez is on. Recalled last Friday after a month in AAA, and Riley greets him by hitting it hard out into left center field.
I guess that's one way to get the bats going, right? Get the starter out of the game. The way he was going, he at least had another inning in him. Right here, Riley times this fastball up. Something to keep an eye on, too, especially now after that rain. One before the game wasn't as bad. But that one right there that we got, ball's going to skip in the outfield. Outfield's be a little slower getting to the ball.
So now here's Harris. Braves were shut out yesterday. They've been shut out today here into the 7th. But trying to change that. The leadoff man on. This year, Alvarez's pitcher has been used as a long reliever. Last year, when he was called up in September, he was a starter. He had 1 start against Atlanta through 4 1/3 scoreless last September. But the point is, he does not have a lot of time at the major league level. He was just called back up last Friday, as I mentioned, and put into a tough position here. As catcher Keibert Ruiz was put into a tough position.
Yeah, he's getting a moment. You can watch this and oh,
he's like a 90-minute rain delay, and then that. Michael Harris lifts it in the air out to center. Back toward the track. It's brought in by Young, and Riley back to first base.
it's always tough as a position player too, just to get that body fired back up, right? 90-minute rain delay.
Well, the Braves trying to win this series. So are the Nationals. Rubber game. Braves also still without a homer here against the Nationals in this series, but still second most round trippers in baseball behind the Yankees this year for Atlanta. Bouncer left side diving stop by Meade. Excellent effort at the hot corner. If that gets by him, everybody's safe.
Yeah, and the hard thing too, man, right now is getting out of the box. You can see even Eli with that dirt, but like you said, good play by Meade. Got up, knew he had to get rid of it quick. But at least the one thing it did do was move Riley over into scoring position. Now you're just a hit away from tying the ball game up.
Brings up Ha-Seong Kim, 0 for 2 today. So does all of that diamond dry, how does it change the infield?
No, it just becomes slower, right? I mean, obviously it's wet, but
and there were just puddles all over,
yeah.
especially on the first base side where they couldn't get that tarp completely to cover it. Looked like that pitch did clip the corner. Swing and a miss by Kim. He went after the curveball. So a leadoff single, but the Braves still down 1-0.
/promos to purchase your tickets to get your hands on one, and I have my hands on one right now.
Everyone's really excited to see you hold it up. Here we go.
Here we go. Look at that.
That's a thing of beauty.
Right there.
Switch it around.
Hockey season.
That is honestly a fantastic giveaway.
It's a great giveaway. It's a great jersey. Keep this one for myself. Or is this the only one made so far in this? Like the, I can't.
It's not like
Thank
the
you, Gretchen.
Oh, Gretchen said.
Oh, I cannot. No,
Oh,
I cannot.
I think we have to continue to promo.
I misunderstood her.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
When Drake saw that, he was genuinely so excited. They presented the idea to him. He was all on board. Huge hockey guy. So that'll be fun when the Jays are in town.
Yeah, you know, we got that little, our TV and radio crew. I got the Vegas Knights sitting pretty at 2-0 right now.
Oh, that's who you have?
I do.
I had an early exit from that.
Yeah. I think I might be playing Gretchen. I think she's got the Avalanche. She's got Carolina. Who squeaked it out last night, 1-1.
Is Glav in it this year?
I don't know if we let him in.
I think we
kicked him out.
We kicked Glav out. We sent him down to Papa Smurfs on 38. 2-2 off the bat of Ruiz. Michael had to go a decent way.
That is a cool jersey, though. They're going to love that.
Oh, Reynaldo Lopez coming in, retiring the first 4, back to the top of the order, and James Wood. So several guys in that Nationals clubhouse love to play chess. James Wood picked it up this offseason, so maybe that's what they were doing during that 90-minute rain delay. I don't know how to play chess.
I don't either, actually.
Yeah. Took me long enough to learn how to play checkers. You and I were
like a very patient game.
Yeah, you and I were more go fish guys.
Yeah, fish, blackjack.
1-1 to James Wood. Outside. Yeah, he said he did it this offseason because a couple of his teammates liked it. He wanted to limit his social media use, so he downloaded the app to play chess on his phone to keep him off of Instagram and all the others.
Okay.
I like that.
Respect it.
Smart. They'll check down, but did not go, says Ron Kolpa. The fans getting after Ron Kolpa for the tarp situation.
That's what I think. I wonder if it is.
And that one outside, and it is another walk for James Wood. That's now 45 walks this year for him, 2 today, but the 45 most in the National League.
They were getting on Kolpa, weren't they?
They were, yeah. They were tracking with what was going on. And again, Ron's not perfect. He's been an umpire at this level since 1999. But Scott Beam, Braves crew chief, or the Braves, I should say, head groundskeeper, was trying to get them to tarp it. Wood takes off for second here. And he's going to steal it.
That's a tough one, man. He stole that right on Lopez, that high leg kick. Sandy Leon never had a chance. And
James Wood with that long 6'7" frame, able to slide in there safely.
See the dirt all over his pants. It's like anything. It looks good, but under that, man, it's still wet.
Curtis Mead 1 for 3. Eli White backing up. Remember, Acuna DHing today, so White out there and right. James Wood up 90 feet. Gonna have a pinch hitter here. Luis Garcia Jr. is going to hit for Chaparro in the 3rd spot in the order, and then he'll take over at first base. Garcia 1 for 9 in the series. He got the starts the last 2 days here in Atlanta. That is going to make it 2-0. And the way this series has gone, low scoring, that's a big run right there for the Nationals.
And that's one thing I think is Lopez has come in now, right, and working out of relief like that, letting that stolen base happen, loom large right there. And when you're in this tight of a game like that, I know he's got a little bit of a leg kick, but you got to be a little more aware of what's going on.
But Wood took advantage, and Garcia with an RBI single to double the lead. The Nationals trying to get back to 500. If they win this today, they'll be 26-26, or rather 27-27. They haven't been 500 this far into the year since 2021. They haven't had a winning season since their World Series title campaign in 2019. These fans that stuck around, give them credit. Monsoon and long rain delay, but a lot of the folks have hung in there. Slider 3-2. Light rain is starting to fall here. That one missed outside, so 2 on with 2 out. There's a quick message from Alpha Insurance.
No matter what life throws your way, we'll be there knocking it out of the park. Getting you back home safe and sound. That's life with Alpha Insurance.
How are things looking over there, meteorologist?
Just popping up and building, right? I'm about to retire from meteorology for a few days.
Yeah, it doesn't look like anything
the
threatening.
kids swimming at the Omni pool last night trying to figure out if we were good.
Just trying to get through 9 here today. Second big league season here for Dylan Cruz. Down the line, but foul. A Memorial Day weekend memory over there with school getting out for the kids this weekend here in Atlanta. Runners started to go, but they'll have to return. Late on 97 as Lopez tries to put away Cruz.
I was going to say, he kind of got on that fastball. It's coming out firm tonight for him.
Lopez is fresh. He hasn't thrown in a week ago against Boston, 2 innings. Another 0-2 pitch. Routine for Ha-Seong Kim. The Nats do add one, 2-0 onto the bottom of the 8th. He's a pinch hitter here instead of Sandy Leone. Jorge Mateo off the bench to start the bottom of the 8th. Garcia, as we said, stays in the game over there at first. Mateo was a pinch runner in game 1 of this series. It's an opportunity to hit here in the 8th, down 2-0.
Yeah, get him on. You got some speed, obviously, and flip the lineup over. Saw him come in the other night, pinch run, steal a bag.
Still Alvarez out there. Nice play up there.
That fan with the glove right there almost went over the back. He was trying hard. He's like apologizing.
And Mateo gives it a poke out to left center, but over to make the grab, James Wood.
Just watching Wood just glide out there.
Such long levers.
I know.
Doesn't look like he's moving that fast, but he's covering
It's
a lot
like Aaron
of ground.
Judge, you know,
Yeah.
it doesn't look the fastest, but he covers 2 steps to most guys 1.
Just an athlete. Ronald still hitless in the series. He did walk back in the first. Cookie Carrasco in the Braves pen. 3-1.
This could be a Chattahoochee Falls right here.
Hitters count. We're still looking for that first homer in the series.
Good eye.
Stays away from the slider. 1 on, 1 out. Our Yellowwood bringing the lumber feature will be something that we might bring you after this break, because it looks like Blake Butera is going to
call the
bullpen. We'll tell you about the pitching change. We'll tell you about our Yellowwood bringing the lumber feature on the next hitter, Mauricio Dubon, when we get back to Truist Park, who threw a scoreless 9th inning in game 1 of this series, coming on here to face Mauricio Dubon.
Now, they didn't want that lefty righty matchup that they had here. So you see he's Yellowwood bringing the lumber. That's what he's done in the 7th inning or later. 9 for 25. Just under 1,000 OPS.
Can he make it 10 for 26? Dubon 0 for 3 so far in this ball game. Bouncing it in there 2-0. You can see Varland a little uncomfortable with that mound right now.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure like anything, if you're not stepping where either Lopez has stepped or one of them, especially being a right-hander, those bullpen mounds have covered up the whole time, so they're dry.
Dubon swinging at the 2-0 pitch. And he sends the 4-seamer out to center for the 2nd out. And now Matt Olson.
Now, one of my keys was get Ole rolling. Had a double earlier.
Yeah, that was in the 4th when he led off with that double. The Braves had him at the corners with nobody out, but could not bring anybody in against Foster Griffin. Fouls off that 4-seam fastball. Braves have not been shut out in consecutive games since June of last year against the Mets and Phillies. Trying to avoid that here on May 23rd and now 24th in Atlanta in 2026. Matt Olson gets underneath it. This should send us to the 9th. Nats with a 2-0 lead. Coming up, and now he's in the game. It is Carlos Carrasco. First appearance at the big league level since the 4th of this month. He has been down at AAA in between.
Yeah, another guy that's been up and down a little bit, but long-time veteran. See if he can keep it right here and give the Braves a chance on the 9th.
His first pitch to Lyle is popped and foul ground. Just enough real estate for Riley. The 38-year-old Carlos Carrasco has made 286 career starts. This is his 52nd time coming out of the bullpen in his big league career. There's a strike to Young.
Good amount of fans stuck around for that, didn't they?
Pretty impressive given all the rain that fell.
I guess Memorial Day weekend.
That helps. Still amazed that the game was able to resume in 90 minutes after looking at that field.
Infield, man.
Just puddles everywhere. You knew the outfield would drain, but the infield, these guys did a really amazing job.
And Birdie.
Birdie really was integral. Ooh. Lost control of the changeup, did Carlos Carrasco.
Yeah, just one that floated right on him.
And it got Young on the elbow guard, so 1 on 1 out. Nasim Nunez had the first RBI hit of the game for the Nationals back in the 5th. Hit well toward the gap. Eli White will go over there to take it. And Nunez is 1 for 4.
Looks like off the bat it could be trouble, but White playing a little bit deeper, and that ball just kind of hung up. You can see the skies, like all weekend, have gone from dark to blue, back to dark.
Just pop-up storms and showers everywhere these last 72 hours.
You know, we had no rain for what, about a month.
Paying for it now.
Yeah. It's good. My grass and flowers are good.
Hey, at the bottom of this inning, the Braves will have 4, 5, 6, starting with Ozzie. See if Carrasco can keep this at 2-0. Ozzie, then Riley, then Harris will be the scheduled hitters for Atlanta. Runner takes off for second. And the tag is down late. So Jacob Young in scoring position. You see that mud on his right forearm.
That's what the quick dry.
Yeah, that shows you.
It hides what's underneath.
That really is a good indicator. You're exactly right, Jeff, of what it truly is like under there. Might have to power wash his pants tonight.
Might just be getting some new ones.
1-2. Riley had one in this same spot a moment ago, leaning over, but this one is going to fall over the net.
I'm sure all the visiting clubhouse guys in Cleveland are going to be thrilled when all these unis roll in.
They just drop them on the floor.
Oh, no doubt.
It's a wet bag. Jacob Young going for third. Matt Olson climbs the ladder, takes one away from Ruiz, and keeps it a 2-0 game. Ozzie, Riley, and Harris due up. A 9th inning rally against Gus Varland.
Now, a bunch of fans stuck around. Let's give them a little finish to remember.
Braves have 18 come from behind wins. That's the most in Major League Baseball. Is there a 19th in store tonight?
You got to remember Eli White due up fourth. Chance maybe you see a Dom Smith. I would imagine someone's tossing down. There's probably a lefty, but
they're going to challenge this. I think they might win it.
Pitch was called a ball that catches Sounder.
That's right now with 1 remaining, and they're going to keep that 1.
Call's overturned. Washington still has 1 challenge.
That was close.
About as close as it gets. One hard to right. It drops in front of Cruz. Every rally needs a spark. Ozzie provides it.
You were hoping this ball was top spinning enough, right? Because Cruz, very quick out there in right field, was coming hard. Just a 4-seam, center cut. Ozzie puts a good swing on it.
It's a 3-hit game. Ozzie has 3 of the Braves' 5 hits now today. Riley has 1 of them back in the 7th. Off the end of the bat. Coming into this series, we talked about the offense between these 2 clubs, the 2 top scoring offenses in baseball. It was 2-2 after 9 innings on Friday. The Braves won in 11. Washington won 2-0 yesterday, and now 2-0 here in Game 3. We'll see if the Braves can get those bats going again. One line drive. It's down. Ozzie will head for third. They are at the corners. There is nobody out.
Gets a hanging breaking ball and just turns on it right down the line. And it's one of those you were hoping between us he could get to second, but with all that quick drive. And Wood, smart move here, not throwing it to third, going to second to keep Austin at first. But we're going to get a switch.
That will be it for Varlet. And Lovelady will now enter the game for the Nationals. Yes.
I'm here for it too.
Memorial Day weekend, he's got on the American flag shirt. Here comes Richard Lovelady. He inherits a bit of a mess. Tying run at first, nobody out. He faces Harris. Swing and a miss at the sweeper. Remember, Lovelady was the opener in Game 1 of this series, then came in to close Game 2. And now here he is in the 9th inning of Game 3. And that sweeper at times can be devastating.
Well, and I'll say this, you know, everybody wants that big hit right here. So if you're Michael now, just kind of lock it in. Think about that 2-strike approach. That's what got Ozzie, got Austin, just singles. Especially after 2 good sweepers like that.
Got to protect. Not going after that one.
Well, especially C.J. Abrams literally playing behind second base. So if you're Michael, outside of Meade over there, you got the whole left side of the infield right here.
Lovelady wants a new baseball.
I think he didn't like that ball.
Remember, this is a pitcher who has bounced around. Nats are the 7th team in his big league career. He is a native of Hinesville, Georgia.
Yeah.
Michael Harris, little looper out to right. Cruz will take it. Ozzie starts to tag and then stops. And the runners stay at the corners.
Smart move over there at third. That's a 1-run game, whole different ball game, but you're playing for 2 right now and with 1 out.
And Eli White stepping to the plate. Eli White has come off the bench a few times recently, but this is his first start since that concussion May 10th in Los Angeles against the Dodgers when he had that incredible catch crashing into the wall. 0-1 pitch outside. Hit on the hands at 91.
Almost hit him.
Out in front. There's that sweeper again from Lovelady.
And we've seen it when he's had to make a pitch. That's what he's gone with. I think it's the most comfortable. Doesn't get a lot of hard contact off that pitch.
Braves have not scored since that RBI walk-off on Friday. To second. Oh, Nunez can't handle it. Everybody's safe. It is 2-1.
What a break. First off, I mean, nice piece of hit. Ball was hit pretty hard, but you asked earlier, Brandon, what the quick dry can do. Right there, I guarantee you getting a hop you're not used to.
It could have been a game-ending 4-6-3 double play. Instead, it is the 50th error this year for the Nationals. That is 14 more errors than any other team in baseball. And we got a lot of drama now in a 2-1 ball game.
A single, Brandon.
Well, they gave him a hit. Well, either way, it's a 2-1 game.
Hard, don't get me wrong, but
Eli White will certainly take it. Now here's Ha-Seong Kim. Sweeper down it in, 1-0.
And if you're Kim, be a little patient right here, right? That pitch has kind of been his kryptonite this series, that back foot slider swinging over the top of it. So set your sights out a little bit more over the plate so you can get something good to drive. Like that.
1-1. Nowhere near. Ha-Seong Kim's 11th game back from the injured list. He's just 4 for 34 since his return with 4 singles. How good would it feel for him to come through here? He'll take a walk as well. 3-1.
Chadwick Trump's on deck, so you would think, right, usually, oh, you bring the righty in, Dom Smith comes up. Problem is, you've already used Sandy Leon. Chadwick came in the game, so a little tougher. I guess you could take that chance, right, and say we're going to win it here, but
Kim bounces it. It goes foul.
Do we have a third catcher?
It was Kyle Farmer, but he's on the injured list. I think it's you, Jeff.
Get down there. Get in, I think.
Here comes a payoff. Down and in. Bases loaded. Winning run at second. Look who's coming to the plate. Friday night's hero, Chadwick Trump. The unlikeliest of heroes, but he came up with the biggest hit in the biggest moment.
Good series in Florida, of course, a walk-off here, and now he's going to come up with another huge spot again because of Mateo pinch hitting for Sandy back in the 7th or 8th, whatever it was. He's going to get an opportunity.
It's going to be against a new pitcher. Orlando Revolta.
And he's the one actually that tried to come in and close the game when it was 4-2 on Friday night, and the Braves were able to tie it up. Remember, good fastball, good sinker, had some control problems if you remember a little bit. They changed that Eli White to an error,
which I think is the right call. It's semantics.
I think Eli would tell you, right?
Third big league season for Orlando Revolta. As Frenchie said, he struggled a little bit coming out of the pen in extra innings on Friday. Now the Braves will try to get to him here again in the 9th inning of Game 3.
Could be quite the Memorial Day weekend for Chadwick Trump, huh?
46 hours ago, he had his first career walk-off hit. He only has 42 hits in his big league career and 25 runs driven in, but 2 of them were the other day. If he gets 2 more here, they'll be dancing in the streets in Atlanta. Swing and a miss at the slider from Revolta.
You got good speed at second base too with Eli White, so it's the same combo that happened the other night.
And Riley over at third. If it goes beyond Chadwick Trump, Ronald Acuna Jr. waits next. Called strike. Braves do have 2 challenges, but looked like that one was in the zone.
That's what he did the other night. 2 strikes, was able to shorten up and just throw the hands. See if he can do it again.
Down to the count. Time is called. Chadwick Trump's handle on social media is Tropical Storm. We had one of those earlier today, causing a 90-minute rain delay. Now can Mr. Tropical Storm come through here? 1-2 pitch. I got him. He went after that slider. 2 down.
I went with that slider. Got him on the first pitch with that, and then after that high fastball came back. And you don't hear us say this too much, but Ronald could use a lift up right here. And now with 2 outs, like anything, Eli White is going to be moving on the crack of the bat. So base hit, this ball game's over.
Ronald is 0 for 10 in this series. He has walked twice today. Revolta ready. He deals. Called strike.
notice two of his fastballs right just painted right on that top line.
The 1-1 pitch. And it is tapped foul, and the Braves here down to their final strike. When this game started, it was packed 40,000. Those that stayed through the rain delay are standing and hoping for a walk-off from Acuna. Here is the 1-2. High and tight.
You know what that usually means now, Brandon?
Away.
Yeah, slider possibly. Same one he got. That's what Ronald went after on the 1-1.
When they squared off in the 10th on Friday, Revolta walked Acuna. Here's a 2-2 pitch in the 9th today. And he got a piece. You're right, Frenchie.
Yeah.
The only official at bat, Acuna versus Revolta, was a home run by Ronald. Another 2-2. Broken back. Slow roller. And the ball game is over. Revolta gets the job done. The Nats hang on and hand the Braves just their second series loss of the season.
Thought they're going to be able to pull it out there at the end, and that's one of those two. He jammed Ronald so much in the wet home plate area, you know, with the quick drive. So tough to get a good jump out of that, and that's why you'll kind of see right here. Throws that two-seamer and just runs it in. Look, right away he's trying to go, and it's tough right there.
Well, there was some drama, but ultimately these two offenses had a lot of low-scoring games here in this 3-game series, and the Nationals are able to take 2 of 3, and now they head to Cleveland. The Braves will head up to Boston, have the off day tomorrow, and start that series.